Very quickly, the last 19 minutes, it looks like on the clocks here, I'm going to show you some pictures of Christ in bread and water. Let's start with this, chapter 16, and turn there with me. And if you've never marked these, we skimmed right through this when we did the feeding of the 5,000, but some of you might not have marked it down. But I asked you the question, do you see Christ in the manna? And I hope you do, especially after tonight. Let's begin by examining Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is a beautiful picture we see in the manna. And let me just read these, because this is a description which you can't see over there, but you can see over here. And I'll read it to you. Just here are some truths from chapter 16. If you were doing a Bible study, a home Bible study on chapter 16, Bonnie and I for years and years and years led home Bible studies, and we taught people how to read the Bible and find things out of it. In fact, for years, our couches were always worn out by people we had Bible studies multiple nights of the week. And as we would study, people learned to discover truth from the Bible. All they had to bring was their Bible and a pen, and we would study the Bible. And by the end of the Bible study, I always ended it with the people that were in the Bible study becoming the teachers and going off and starting their own. And then we'd get another group. And what's a blessing about all that is every year when we get Christmas cards, I find out that those men are most of them elders in churches all across the country, because they learned first time to lead in a home Bible study. And I can't extol enough the benefit of home Bible studies. In fact, in Discovery this morning, there was a man standing in there in Discovery class and said that he was discipled at this church quarter century ago or so in a home Bible study. And he said that home Bible study in this church grew from a few to 70, and it split, and both groups mushroomed in size again. And he looks back in his spiritual life to that Bible study where he learned to walk and grow in the Lord. Well, let's act like we're at a Bible study tonight. If we were going through this chapter, I would read it out loud and I would point these things out. First of all, the manna only sustained life for the Jews. This was not supernatural food. They didn't take one bite of it and go 40 days like Elijah did in the wilderness. No. We're talking about, this was daily bread. They had to have their little pot of manna for each day. It only sustained their life. It was just like us eating our food. Manna was not supernatural in its power. It was just supernatural in its arrival. Secondly, the Jews ate the daily manna, and even though they ate it, which God made that food, they still died, which might tell you a little bit about health food. Health food might increase your life span by a day or so. You know what I mean? So go ahead and eat all those funny things, and the rest of us will eat normal food. You know what I mean? I'm just teasing. But the Jews ate daily manna, and they still died. It was just normal food. Thirdly, when God gave the manna, He gave only a gift to them. He was helping them out. It was just a gift. It was just, God just gave them food. That's an observation we make. Fourthly, there was no cost to God in sending the manna each day. God did not get weary. It was not a burden. It was not a great, depth of His life. He just fed them. Kind of like He feeds all the animals and the birds of the air and everything else. Fifthly, the Jews had to eat the manna every day. God specified that. He says, don't gather anything except for the Sabbath, but everything else is day by day by day. And finally, those that ate manna hungered again, died at last, and with many of those who ate manna, God was not pleased. In fact, it says in the book of Hebrews, graphic, whose carcasses rotted in the wilderness. Now, that's not what we say. We say they were buried, they were laid to rest. God says they rotted. How do you like that? Graphic. Their carcasses rotted because He was not pleased with them.